folks, welcome back to another edition of Crowdfunding Watch. Now these are a series of crowdfunded projects that are mostly over. They're over and they're coming in. This is kind of the other side of the crowdfunding campaign. And to start this all off, I've just started following things that I have personally backed. I am willing to look at other stuff and follow other campaigns. No one has suggested one so far, but if you'd like to, just leave a comment down below and I'd be happy to include that. Also, there are timestamps, so if you want to skip ahead and get to the thing you like the best, feel free to do that. No worries. Okay, well, first up we have the Gamer's Chest, and now this is a project that's actually out of Ukraine, and we've pretty much lost hope. I think me and most of the commenters, we don't even care anymore if it gets delivered. Well, I would really like to get this thing because it's really nice. But you know, of course, the more important thing is that they're doing okay. And they actually posted an update. I haven't seen a lot of updates, but every now and then they'll post something and kind of describe what they're going through over there and trying to deal with it. It's an interesting proposition that they make here at the end too, where they're saying, well, we can kind of wait till our boys come home, or we can try to train some people, but the quality might suffer and be slow going and stuff. So I don't think anybody suggested that they do that. So everybody's just kind of content to kind of wait it out and see what happens. And hopefully we'll get some super cool dice towers because they look really neat. But if not, if we never get it, then I just hope they're okay. And I think a lot of other people do too. So next up we have Volfurion Guilds. This is one I always pronounce this wrong. I want to call it Volfurion for some reason. But Volfurion Guilds is a deck building game. And it is actually on ships. So this is on the way here. It's probably, I think some of the ships have actually docked over on the other side. And I think we're waiting on another ship to come in. So it's very, very close to fulfilling. It's a really interesting game, and I've actually seen an unboxing. So another YouTube channel has received this already, and I think they're in Japan or something like that. And I'm sorry if I got that wrong, by the way. But they did an unboxing, and they're kind of looking at it. It looks like there's some problems with the insert for it, so that's a little disappointing. It's not able to fit, like they had these like card separators and there's no way to fit them in there. They're too tall for the box when it shuts. And they also didn't really engineer the box to hold the dragon miniature also, which is kind of a bummer because I mean, you're getting the big box. You got this big huge box. Well, what's it for if not to hold everything? That same fellow that did the unboxing has kind of done a reboxing video where he kind of arranged everything in a particular way to get everything to work. So when it comes in, I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to tear into it and see if I can figure out a cool way to organize it. And when I do, I'll let you know. But that is coming up soon. That'll probably be, that might be one of my next ones to fulfill. It won't be this one. It definitely won't be Robinson Crusoe. Now, they posted an update on the 22nd, and they said that they're dealing with some minor issues, small rule book. They're combining a bunch of small rule books into one. All the plastic miniatures have already been produced. All the dice are being produced right now. All the wooden pieces are being produced right now. And they decided to do some minor tweaks to the plastic insert to fit the components slightly better, and they haven't started that, but they're about to. So Robinson Crusoe is still in production, but hopefully getting towards the end of their production. They posted that update on the 22nd. Now the other one that could be my next one to arrive is Lords of Ragnarok. Now, a lot of YouTube creators have been getting these. I think they take some early production copies and they express mail them out to some influencers. So, yeah, there's nothing like having the inside track. You know, YouTube videos are tough, and whoever gets there first does better. So, boy, if you can get a game early, that's nice. Good for you. So, Game Brigade and Alex from Board Game Co., of course, it's a Game Found project. So, uh, they've got unboxings. You can check that out. I might do one. I don't know if I will or not. It seems kind of pointless if like a whole bunch of people have done unboxings. So maybe I'll just go straight to trying to paint it or something like that, depending on how far along I get with The Witcher. Next, we got Marvel Zombicide, and they continue to build the Wave 2. So it looks like actually their Galactuses are shipping. So people should be getting their big zombie Galactus about now. But they're teasing us with all these other things, like the Kickstarter. We've got some white samples of the boxes, but we also got a lot of cool close-ups of the miniatures for these different things. I think this is the artist edition, and then some close-ups of those. And then there's the Kickstarter's extra box. Now this is like the extra Hydra people. And then the Kickstarter's extra box, which just has a ton of stuff in it. The models look really good. I think this is the first CMON one that I know of that has the modeled bases. And it's funny, I haven't seen a lot of people making comments about it, but that's like, that's like automatically so much better than what you typically get from the CMON sculpts and stuff. Some people will take it or leave it. Like I do like to put clear bases on things a lot, especially if I use them in other ways. But wow, it really makes each one of these sculpts a little bit more special and a little bit more interesting. And it's neat that we'll have so much of the Marvel Universe in plastic like this. And boy, I tell you, every one of these that I see, they just look great. They really, really do. We got all the regular people too, like the extra characters that you got to save. There's really, really just a ton of stuff. And there ought to be, because this was a super expensive campaign. Just really stupid expensive. Zombie versions of a bunch of people here. There's one, I'm kind of wanting to scroll on down here. Yeah. This Jean Grey. Now this looks awesome. I don't know how, sometimes I wish for stuff like this you could get it disassembled. Now someone's gone and glued this down, and I'm going to have to pry it off of there so I can paint it. Or maybe I guess I could prime it I could try to prime it with, I can mask it out maybe and maybe rattle can prime it, but I don't want to risk that. I guess I could brush prime it too, but boy, that would be tough. But anyway, I'm looking forward to painting these, most of these, but especially some of these really crazy ones. And there are a lot of characters that would never get their own board game. So it reminds me a lot of that Batman campaign from not too long ago that just had a crazy amount of Batman characters. This really reminds me of that, except you're kind of getting two for each one. You get the zombie version and the regular version of all these characters. So you automatically get two of everybody they managed to shoehorn into this whole thing. All right, so up next we have Tang Gardens. So on 5/19 they say, apologies for being late, but they reassure us that they've made many, many successful campaigns before, and that they're working on it. So they're sort of reassuring us that everything's going to be just fine. Don't worry about it. So in one of the last updates, they're talking about their big box and stuff. And then in this update, they're sort of talking about their regular Tang Garden box and maybe making it bigger so it could fit things. And re-exploring whether or not you really want an insert for that. I get the impression they don't really want to, or would probably prefer not to make another insert if they don't have to. If most people are going to throw it away, then, or all the people that cared got the big box is what they're thinking, and all the people that don't care, get the regular thing. So I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what they're trying to figure out there, but I kind of think like I would definitely put an insert in for the regular one. I just, because you can't assume that someone's going to have all the rest of the stuff, right? And even like just having an insert to kind of protect the regular game and keep those components, especially it's got sort of some components you sort of assemble and stuff like that. I definitely wouldn't want them kind of like rolling around, and it's easier to pull that game out and table it if things are organized, you know. So my vote is always insert, 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 and insert, please. No, the other thing that they're showing off is their compendium. Is that what they called it? Yeah. It's actually in translation now, and they are so they're getting this one worked out, and this is going to be basically all the rules from all the expansions all put into one nice little booklet, and I really appreciate that. So it'll make it a more complete game. It'll probably make it more likely to want to venture off into some of the other things. I don't think I still have yet to play any expansion for Tang Garden. We always just play the regular game. So, yeah. So why did I buy more of it? That's a good question. I am not sure, but I am curious to see what it's all like all together. And I promise I will definitely venture out and play more. Oh, the other thing they wanted to show is the roll and write. It looks like it's about ready to go, and it looks really neat. Looks like a neat thing. They kind of they added that roll and write in during the Pledge Manager, I believe. I don't think it was there before. No, I don't know if they advertised it there before or I just bought it later on. But I eventually got it too, because I'm a sucker for things like that. Up next, we have Sleeping Gods, Distant Skies, and in this latest update, they're showing off these metal tokens, which is really cool looking, and some dice. Again, really, really nice looking. I like that kind of swirly pattern in there. They have some wooden components and these little diamond shapes. That's probably kind of hard to do. Maybe not. I don't know anything about that stuff. And these plastic pieces, which look great. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if the first version even really came with miniatures. Like I know they came with a boat, but I don't think they came with any people or anything. So I'm not sure. And I have not played the game. I've purposely kind of stayed ignorant about how it works because I want to. I don't know. I want to kind of a little bit more of a surprise experience, which is difficult to do when something's been out for a while. So I didn't buy the first one. I've resisted the temptation. I've almost bought it like 4 times since I backed this. So I'm going to wait. I'm just going to play this one. I'm going to be happy with that. Unless I love it. Like if this is like the best thing I've ever done, maybe I'll go do the other one and just pretend like it's a prequel or something. Yes, I'm super excited for this, and it seems to be moving right along. So hopefully we'll be seeing more on this soon. Next we have Unmatched Storage, and yes, the floppy disk containers are almost here. I believe I just saw an update. Was that today? Yes. All items are on the water. So, okay, so it is on ships, and it'll be here soon. Look forward to an unboxing on that. And I guess we'll evaluate how much space it saves and how nice it looks when it gets here. All right, so next up is Castles of Burgundy. I was like, what? Where's the camera? All right, next up is Castles of Burgundy. And it is, they wanted you to know that, well, on 510 they said that they were finishing up and that they'll send out a notification when this thing hits ships. So it's about to hit the ships, but we've seen no notification yet. So my guess is that we're not on boats quite yet, but maybe very soon. Up next we have Skyrise. There's actually not much to report on that. Their pledge manager has just closed. So now we're just waiting for them to finish. Alright, I have Burn Cycle next on my list, but they haven't done an update since April 18th. So I'm going to go on to the next one. The next one we have is Ape Quest. Now, Ape Quest, it is on ships. Well, no, it's actually not on ships. I think it's being sent to me. I've got a shipping information, like a confirmation of my address from Spiral Galaxy. So, if I remember correctly, that's one of the people that distributes in Europe. So, I'm wondering if maybe there were so few copies sold in the U.S. that it's just being sent directly from there. The shipping, as I recall, was a lot more than I was expecting it to be. It was quite expensive for the shipping, making the cost of this game almost double the price. So I wasn't super happy with that, but but hopefully it's a great game. I'm a huge Professor Elemental fan, so I guess we'll see what happens. But this one should be arriving very soon. Up next we have Harrow County. Now if you missed this one, you can late pledge this one right now. And in fact, you can late pledge this all the way up until they go to ship. So it'll be quite a bit longer. At least a few more weeks if you haven't decided, or you want to save up for it, or if it's something you want to look at it again. It's available. Up next we have Escape from New York, and they have actually released some miniatures and stuff to look at. So now we've got some miniatures. This is that dude, I think, from the basketball court that he had to duel with, and then the super crazy guy. Yeah, the miniatures look good. I know it's kind of hard to tell, and I believe they said that these are resin proofs. It's kind of interesting. They have all these scales, all these different scales of things, like the barrels in these cars and stuff. But I get the sense that they're sort of mini games and stuff that you play with these. But Jake the Snake Plissken looks good. Cabby looks good. They all look all right. Looks like they're going to be fun to paint. There's the most important one right there. Some sort of barricade. Some of these probably go with the bridge expansion and stuff. And I think there was something else with more cars. I can't remember what all I bought. And up next we have Cuthlu Death May Die. Now they released more miniatures. So if you thought there were a lot of miniatures in the Marvel Zombies, well, hold your beer. Here comes Cuthlu Death May Die. There actually aren't just tons and tons of new things to show, but there's quite a bit. Like overall in this game, there's a lot of creatures, and these monsters just look great. The characters do too. I kind of skipped right over them, but yeah, man, these characters look awesome. I can't wait to paint these things. This guy here with that little finger out. Man of Lang. Yeah, monstrous frog. Some polyps. Everybody loves a stinky polyp. It's like a swamp thing, or whatever the Marvel version of that was. Man thing. Yeah. Lots and lots of cool stuff. Yes, more cool miniatures from Simon. Imagine that. So up next we have the Mysthea and Icion Solo expansions. The only real news on that is that the Pledge Manager is closed. So now we wait. Like everything else. Up next we have Pest. Pest is a really interesting looking game. They don't have much going on yet. A little teaser picture here. And what else did they say? Said they would they're going to open the Pledge Manager in May, but they haven't yet. The last we heard from them was April 25th. So no Pledge Manager yet, but that is coming apparently. Looking forward to that. I can't remember if there was something else I wanted to get for it, but I always love to revisit something that I kind of like. I'll put my toe in the water for a Kickstarter, and then later on, a few months later, if I'm not buying anything else, I'll just get more of it. So up next we have Deep Shelf, and I've got a little highlight next to it that says it will deliver in December. I remember during the campaign, I backed it and I said, how can you say you're delivering in December? Because that is so fast. That would be it would be one of the faster turnarounds for a full-on game. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten, granted, except for like that dice game. The Dice Fights game was probably the fastest Kickstarter I've ever had, but it's dice. I mean, even custom dice aren't that complicated when the entirety of the game is a box, some dice, in a rule book. This has dual air boards. There's all kinds of little, there's wooden components. I can't remember if there's any plastic components in this one that aren't standard, but it's got a lot of little custom pieces. So I am very skeptical about them being able to deliver in December. I can't even remember what their reply was. They had an answer for me. I think they said that they had it all worked out. And this was like the second run, like their second try at a Kickstarter. So maybe they've got enough of this kind of sorted out. But what's interesting is that during the Pledge Manager, they're unlocking more stuff. So they did this thing where they're unlocking more stuff, but like after the campaign in the Pledge Manager. Now, I'm not sure how common that is. Maybe I just haven't backed something that's done that before. But I've seen social stretch goals, but usually they're so minor that I don't really notice what's going on with them. Whereas these folks are making a big point, and they've unlocked stuff that I really am excited about after the campaign. So what they've got going on right now is, and what they've unlocked is this cool insert for the game. And it looks like they're trying to make it so it's kind of pull and play, like you kind of pull the insert out and some of your components are all set up for the game. The other thing that they're doing that I really, really like is they're making the individual players little boxes for the individual players with lids. That's the one thing about the Windward that I was kind of upset with, like they didn't put lids on top of their individual little pieces. So, but yes, they'll have lids on top of these little things. So if you like, I want to be purple, you hand someone the purple stuff. That's what I like. I love that. I love it when they do that. So good for you on that. I'm not letting you off the hook on that December thing. We got Unmatched Adventures Tales to Amaze. Their Pledge Manager is open till June 30th. I believe in this Pledge Manager also you can kind of pre-buy some things that are already on ships, some other Unmatched sets. It's some more Marvel characters, I believe. It's another Marvel set. So they're on ships and on the way over here, and you can pre-buy them through here and get some special foil cards. I never get the foil cards. Like, Unmatched is so expensive. It's a fun game. It really is a fun game, but I'm kind of getting a little tired of buying all the different sets, and I'm probably going to start passing up a few and maybe selling some of the ones I don't like as much. But Tales to Amaze, maybe that will reinvigorate the whole thing. It'll be really interesting to see. I kind of got it as sort of that last breath of Unmatched. Like, I've kind of worn myself out on it. Maybe this kind of will kind of change it up, breathe new life into it, and make it different, and make it different for all the stuff. That's what's kind of neat about it, is the way it can kind of universally incorporate itself. That's what I like most about Unmatched. So up next we have one of my favorite games in the world, DEI, and they have announced one of my other favorite things, which is a big box. So they kind of teased that perhaps they would do this before, but they are trying to work out what a big box would look like for DEI. And I believe they're asking people that if they've purchased this and they're interested to get on there and comment, let them know. Let them know if they'd be interested in this so they could work out a price. I think they could have done a campaign that was just for the big box, personally. Because I think a lot of people really want that. I know I wanted enough to go and just create one myself, but boy, this looks cool. Look at the lid on that. I like the way that lid flips off there. I think this could be really neat. I'd love to see something that was made to hold all those little pieces and stuff. It would be a lot easier to store the different miniatures and things. The other thing they wanted to announce is that they were attending a couple of different conventions around there, and they're all in Europe. So another one I recently backed and apparently can't pronounce is Forges of Ravenshire. And they don't have a lot of updates yet. They're working out a couple of things. I think what they were talking about last is showing some different cards and stuff that they're working on, these shields. And I believe, if I remember at the end here, he was talking about possibly picking picking a cover, it looks like you've got that as an option. Are these critters on, like, it looks like all the different characters as an option. Possibly different alternate covers and cover ideas. Looking for a vote. Looking for some ideas on that. I really like this guy. I like the other one too. Like, I like the one from the campaign, but he's just so happy. He's so happy with the sword he's made. How can you not love that? That's amazing. So, okay. On to the next one. Up next, we have Dunguns and Lasers. Their pledge manager is just opened. And I believe they were unlocking things in their pledge manager too. They had some kind of like big chicken dragon monster or something. Cockatrace. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but they have that in their unlocks that they want to do. And they, their pledge manager is open. I got, it was this thing that this last big chicken dragon that they didn't get. So that would be interesting. I was happy with just the turtle. The giant dragon turtle was good enough for me. But boy, there's a lot of miniatures in here. I decided to just go and get another set of trees. I got that basic set that's got it's got the super. I got the basic one that whatever got the super stretch goals. The minimum one that got the super stretch goals. So I got all the big models and all the extra models and stuff, but I'm also going to get some more trees for my terrain stuff. I've been painting things and showing them every Saturday. So if you happen to be into the painted part of the board game hobby, join me on Saturdays for some other kinds of videos that I do. That's it for stuff I backed. I actually passed on a bunch of things. I'm holding out for a couple of different things that I really want, like anything new that comes out with Nemesis. Maybe not the RPG. I'm not super into RPGs. I do play Dungeons and Dragons. I've had a game going for about 3 years. And I might even get into this Dulcere stuff too, but I don't know for sure, because I play with other people and they usually kind of control the world. I'm not up to dungeon mastering just yet. Now, as far as a Kickstarter that's really tempting me, that's like live right now, is maybe this Venus, Cities of Venus. This looks really fun. It's worker placement, which doesn't go over super big in my house, but it looks like a fun game. I love the components that they've got here. Got these big robots holding dice and stuff. It's kind of ridiculous and pointless, but fun. But fun and fun to look at. So, if it's not, I'm going to go and read the rule book real quick, probably tonight, and see if it's something I'll be interested in. Looking at the components, there are a bunch of things in here that kind of get me excited and make me think it would be fun. But it's kind of hard to tell. Sometimes even with me reading the rule book, it's hard to tell because I don't visualize well. I'd have to kind of read the rule book and then watch a playthrough to even really get a sense of how things go together. But yep, it's just they're tempting me along with all the other stuff that tempts me. But you got to call it someplace. And speaking of calling it someplace, I think I'm going to wrap it up right here. Until next time, enjoy your games, and I'll see you soon. If you've got a game you want to add to this, let me know, and I'll do it. Bye-bye.